And I'm going to go live on Facebook. In a group. Oh. Come on. Nope.
Zoom's done a weird thing, and I noticed that it was happening to you too, that you're not 100% entirely sure if you're live or not. But what I've discovered is that you are, like, you just push that and then you are, even if it hasn't finished counting down yet.
I got it.
Yeah, because I was like, when it happened to me several times.
All right. I'm kind of frozen. I don't know. I can hear you. Okay, here. Now it's moving. My computer there's something going on. I think we're live. Hello.
Oh,
welcome, everyone. We are here today with the beautiful Jenny Ford in our group, Seven Figure Brands. I'm so excited to get to know you better, to hear about your journey, and for you to be a part of this group. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started doing your work.
I actually got started doing my work many years ago, doing trauma-informed care, and based off of, I was a firefighter paramedic for 15 years, and actually lost several coworkers and my wife due to lack of the ability to re-regulate and de-stress and all of those things. So I went from trauma-informed to then working, and I grew up. My father was a shaman and Reiki masters and all the things. So I had all that also. So then I started working more in the spiritual side of things, of course, and then working with trauma in the sense of, our inner child trauma, those sort of things. And then have expanded into sacred business, and for me personally through branding, because it's really gotten me through an identity crisis, right? Who hasn't had one of those? And just really discovering who I was during that process about 15 years ago really showed me my zone of genius when it all comes together in the last 5 or 6 years. That is my zone of genius, is being able to support people through all the other modalities to come up and know who it is that they are. And when you're, of course, doing business and entrepreneurship, that is key.
One of the things I want to just commend you for all that you've gone through. Like, thank you for being vulnerable and sharing that with us. A lot of people come into this space because they've had some traumatic experiences and had to overcome some sort of identity crisis. But what I love about you is that your branding, you are your branding. Like, every time I see you, I'm just like, I can't wait to see what she's wearing next and what she's doing. Like, to me, I was always thinking, like, on the flip side, I was always like, what is my colors? You know what I mean? Like, it was very, very superficial. But when I look at you, you are the epitome of a brand. And so that's what drew me to you. Every time I saw you with Renee DiBiaso on her channels, and anytime I saw you, I was like, oh, I can't wait to see what she's got going on. And every time I see you've got this beautiful, like, you are just authentically expressing yourself through your uniqueness. And I think that's where I got so tripped up. Like, I was always questioning my branding, whereas you're like, no, lean into it. It sounds like that's what you're really saying, is like,
yeah, absolutely. And it's really leaning into yourself, of course, and as within, so without. And then when you really get it's all energetic, of course, right? So everything, though, that is within us affects it affects everything. And the truth of the matter is, when we feel good and when our energy is good, we show up good. And when we can do that and be really confident in that, and then throw in that branding, it's just the projection of the persona of yourself. And it's then, therefore, there is no separation. And no matter what, you're always going to show up authentic, and you're always going to show up as the image that you want to be portraying of your brand.
Yeah, no, I just love that. You are like, that's why I was like so on fire for you to show up this week. I was like, oh my gosh, she's just gonna blow. I mean, like, you are such an inspiration for me, because I've always been kind of the quiet one, and the one that hides and kind of doesn't really, show up authentically just to be myself.
Yeah.
And you really epitomize that for me. And I just love your glamorous expression of who you are in whatever form. So again, thank you for being here, for being a part of this. What would you say to the women in this group who are like either just getting started, or who are, maybe where I was, where I flipped my branding so many times. I don't know if you've seen my journey. Like, we're kind of new in this space together, but I started out totally, and I don't know how many times I changed the name of the group. You know what I mean? Like, I was just all over the place.
And
So what would you say to the women who are kind of all over the place trying to figure out their footing with that?
every time that you're trying to find your footing, and it's okay, right? It's okay to play and just be authentic with your audience. Let them know that I'm having some fun here with this. I'm really playing with this, and I'm probably going to land on something one day, but I just want you all to know that right now the word for me is probably eclectic, and that's what you're going to be experiencing. But stick with me, because we're going to figure this out together. And you said it earlier, it's leaning in. It's really, really leaning in and realizing that, yes, it is absolutely 100% about the colors and all of those things. And that gets to be fun. Do you know how many different ways you can represent even just 3 to 4 colors? It feels like you couldn't, but you can. And like for me, with my branding, it's futuristic, it's future forward, it's about leadership, it's about aesthetic, it's about your brand being able to stand the test of time, and your imagery, when you can utilize classic things that are timeless and still make them be modern as you grow every single step of the way. And so it's also really about your client, your number one dream buyer, because really you're speaking to them. And so, especially what I find a lot with especially with spiritual entrepreneurs, because most of us have been a little quiet, or
Yeah.
we've stayed back a little bit, and we've not necessarily stepped into that. Just keep doing all that inner work that you're doing, because everything that is presenting itself for you along this way, and your sacred business is the most sacred guide you have in your life to figure out not just who you are, but to be that person, and then to be your brand, and your brand, your company, your services, your gifts, your offerings, those are all you. And so when you put that heart and soul into what it is that you're doing, you're able to exactly show up authentically. And sometimes all that means really is just saying to your people, hey, we're playing. I'm even open to suggestions. Tell me what you think. Like, what what does this make you feel? And that's all part of the fun part of beta testing, really, is being able to ask others, how does this make you feel? What does this make you think of, and take that all in objectively. But the one thing that I did a lot, one thing that's worked for a lot of women that I've worked with, is honestly, seriously, spend some time in the mirror every single day, just looking straight at yourself exactly as you are. And there's going to be this moment, and every time I talk about it, it just chokes me up because it's so powerful. There's this moment that's going to happen when you're doing that you are going to see yourself. You're going to see your soul. You're going to see how others see you. And when you can have that experience and then encapsulate that feeling and put that into everything that it is that you're doing, you show up. And when we're trying to sell high ticket offers, when we're trying to build legacies and empires, and we're trying to, it takes 20 clients in a year. So 5 clients a quarter at a high ticket offer, high ticket offer, because I'm throwing out 20 grand. That's $1 million a year. That
Right.
is $1 million year. And spend some time looking at and really researching, and we talk about that a lot, and finding your niche and who is your authentic buyer, but really research that, who has that kind of expendable money, and what are they looking for, right?
Yeah.
Because not only can you just be yourself and talk to them and them know that you understand what's deep inside within them, and that's what they're saying yes to, and that is absolutely 100% true. But in this world, your impact starts from the outside in, and it takes 20 points of contact and up to 6 months to undo a bad first impression.
Some
There's
juicy goodness in there. Yeah.
there's a lot of science and psychology behind that. And so being able to, keep that in mind too, that you are showing up. This is all about service. It's all about being in service. And so show up and what that service means, right? If you're talking to people that have expendable money, but they want to be able to help support other women, they want to distribute, they want to help the planet, you're going to use greens, you're going to use imagery of people in those volunteer type of situations. You're going to be using all of that different kind of imagery to do that. And your main brand really is your beautiful little logo. It's absolutely stunning. It's beautiful. The colors you can see, right? They really do represent you. I really love what you have going on. And we were talking about that before.
Thank you. Yeah.
Because it's so beautiful and you can feel that.
Yeah.
But when you're doing when you're speaking or doing a summit, or when you're doing a presentation, or when you're making workbooks or different things like that, you can use those type of imagery, and please do, right? You're not stuck to
Right.
Just and play around. I could take that image and took it into Canva and create at least probably 10 different shades off of that one background to be your brand.
You know what? And I love the fact that you don't stick to one color. Like, I feel like you have a color palette and you have like a imagery kind of theme, but you play around with the colors. You really do play. And I think that's where I got so wrapped up, where I couldn't play. And I love how you said, make sure you play in your branding and talk to your audience, because that's really what I've been doing, is playing for the last couple of years. Like, nothing's really landed until I kind of hit this vibe. And I was like, ooh, now I feel it. Like, there's this real feeling to connecting to what it is that there's the right energy for me, right? In this feel with that I've created. So I know that we're on like a short time limit. You guys heard my bell, but I do want you to do a selfless promo. Like, where can people find you, help people get into your group, and talk about your special thing that you're working on right now for breast cancer? Because those are the 3 things that I wanted to make sure we got out.
Yeah, so I will drop the link in this after we get down and share my socials, so you guys can join my page. I am doing a launch on November 14th, and beautiful Justine is going to be there, and she's going to help support me there and speak. So you guys, please, I'll drop the link for that. You can join. You're going to be going into my waiting room, and of course being teased along with fun little games and things like that until the 14th, when the big thing gets unfolded. And the other thing that I'm doing along with that is a breast cancer campaign. So it will be it's kind of a mixed thing. Some of you may have heard it. It's called Fab Over 40, and it's a collaboration between them and the National Breast Cancer Foundation, which is just about an hour away from where I live here. And so it's North Texas, and they help support women, free mammograms. They do hope boxes, which are filled with blankets and warm head, head covers and fuzzy socks and books and hot tea and all the comfort items. It's called a hope box. And the other part of that is just free votes. There's a link, you can go vote for me, and that keeps me in, and this goes through December 14th. And so the longer I'm in, the bigger impact I can have, of course. And so I'll be doing that also as part of the big gala, is what I call it. Personally, it's like a gala. So
you are like a gala. Like, I look at you and I'm like, Jenny is the gala. We got to follow her along, because wherever she's going, we want to be there. So I'm so excited.
Yes.
Please, thank you so much. Make sure you put all your links in here. I love you, Jenny, and I can't wait for all of the goodness that you have going on, because I'm so excited to watch you just blow it up, and just you're so fun and amazing.
Thank you so much.
So much.
Yeah,
and I will see you. Yeah, I'll see you soon for sure. Bye, everyone. Take care.
Thank you so much.